The electrification of everything is happening, right? I mean, we're seeing this across the world in every industry, and it's coming to boating. It's happening. There are some challenges too with corrosion and water and electricity, and but the technology is awesome.
Welcome to WinniPlus, a podcast about the people, places, and businesses that define the culture of the Lakes region. Now for today's episode.
Before Cody Gray became Vice President of Operations at Goodhue Boat Co, he found himself putting tire to pavement across northern New England for work, without a true landing pad that he could call home. That was until one early snowy morning when he decided to take a different path.
My territory that I was assigned to was basically anywhere in northern New England was my directive. I had to move to northern New England, and so I was traveling here for a few weeks, and it was January. It was a snowy, cold night, and I knew that I had early morning meetings in Maine, and I had to drive from Tilton up to northern Maine, and thought I would get kind of a head start, and took some back roads, was driving through Route 3 and then 25, and I drove through downtown Meredith. It was nighttime, snow had just fallen. It was like this amazing kind of picturesque, utopian scene. The Christmas lights were up, snow had just fallen, the lake was frozen over, and I had never been to Lake Winnipesaukee, and I was driving through downtown Meredith, Mill Falls and Lago, and you've got that kind of scenic area. And I pulled the car over at the town docks, and I got on my phone, and I had to find out, where is this place that I'm looking at right now. And my search for a house narrowed from northern New England down to the Lakes region of New Hampshire. And I knew that this was where I was going to buy a house and relocate my family, and this is where we were going to stay.
Now landed on the north side of the lake, Cody pursued a career that involved working at the oldest marina on Winnipesaukee.
I'm actually broadcasting here from our flagship store, the oldest marina on Lake Winnipesaukee, which is the former Goodhue and Hawkins Navy Yard. We have 4 locations around the Lakes region of New Hampshire. We have 2 on Lake Winnipesaukee. We have 1 on Sunapee. And as of last year, we recently added another marina to the family on Ossipee Lake, the former Ossipee Lake Marina. So that's us. We've put all of the marinas under the same umbrella, under the Goodhue Boat Company name, but Goodhue and Hawkins Navy Yard is the oldest marina on the lake. It was established in 1903, and there's some pretty exciting history from the lake and the different things that the marina has been used for, to provide for the community, for the state, for the even the government over the years.
If people, are searching for a different experience here on the lake, how can the Goodhue Boat Company help them?
So our company, as started by the Pratt family back in 2012 when they purchased Goodhue and Hawkins Navy Yard, they really set the business up to run off of the company's core values. So our mission is to provide excellent and unparalleled water service experiences on the lakes. And for us to be able to do that, there are core values and behaviors that we really try to follow every day. And those have to do, starting with putting the customer first, offering premium products and services. So we really want to just do the best that we can and provide the best products and services that we can for customers. And we've understood for a really long time, I feel like, that this is a hospitality business. It's not really about boats. It's not really about these products and life jackets and things like that. But it's about people. It's about the very precious small amount of time, when you look at it, that we have to spend together with our families and friends. And we take that on as a huge responsibility, because we know that time is so short that people have. And everyone, I feel like, falls into that category as they're typically escaping some of the day-to-day. They want to relax, they want to be with their families and friends, and they want it to be stress-free. They've got plenty of stress and plenty of to-do lists and things like that in their we'll call it in their other life, right? And in their lake life, they really don't want to spend time dealing or thinking about those kinds of things. And so that's our job. We can take all of that on and allow folks to really just focus on their day and their time on the lake. And I feel like it's the same whether you own a waterfront property right next door and we take care of your boat during the off season and we take care of your fuel and we have gear and all of that stuff that you need from time to time, or whether you're just coming up from the week, for the weekend with a group of friends from Boston University or whatever. Everybody's still kind of working towards the same goal, and we're here to help.
Yeah, you mentioned the words lake life. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, it's a term that's used frequently in this area and probably others. I don't think there's a single trademark on lake life, but it really is a succinct way to kind of describe that time with family and friends. And it means maybe slightly different things for different people in terms of how it is that you enjoy your own personal lake life, right? For some, it's swimming. For some, it's paddle sports or sailing, and for some, it's surfing and water sports, and something that's is an adventure kind of sport might not seem like it releases stress, but for everybody, it's a different release. It's a different way to get that zen. But I think that we've all kind of figured out a common language or a common description, which is lake life.
Now that you live here, what is your perfect day on the lake? Like, what are you doing with your family? Where are you going? What's your ideal day?
Yeah, the perfect day for us, we jump in the boat. It's usually afternoon, right? The days are busy and long in this industry in the summertime. And so we try to sneak away as often as we can. And when we do get an opportunity to sneak away, we jump in the boat. We've got dinner and everything with us. So kind of picnic style dinner. We jump in the boat. We might go do a quick ski or surf session for a little while just to, build up an appetite, have some fun on the water while the sun is out. And then when it starts to get darker, we'll swim around a little bit, have dinner, wrap up in, some towels and blankets as it starts to cool off. And around sundown, we'll head back to the dock and cruise back to the house. So that's kind of that's our jam. Like that's our perfect night. Would do it every night if we could.
Cody and his team are always putting pen to paper, following trends and seeing where people want to go on the water and how they go about it. And not shockingly, the future of boating seems to be knocking at the door.
Well, I would have to say it's just constant improvement. I mean, we tried to have a culture that's centered around learning and growing, and customers' interests are changing. The technology, of course, is changing. I'll give you a simple example. We moving forward this summer, we'll be selling products like flightboard e-foils. And if you haven't seen an e-foil, you've probably seen foils that are either towed behind a boat, or maybe someone is using like a kite to pull them in the ocean, or they're surfing or something, and they're using a board that has a foil below it, and that foil is what is really giving them the lift, and they're going up over the water. So the electrification of everything is happening, right? I mean, we're seeing this across the world in every industry, and it's coming to boating. It's happening. Rad-in surfboards that have an electric motor, electric propulsion, like a small jet ski kind of propulsion system in a surfboard. Those are the types of things that are changing. People are interested in getting around and mobility in a little bit different way than in a big boat or a big car, and things are getting smaller and they're getting electric. And so we're paying close attention to that. We're working with the state as well, as far as how do we regulate these and to keep people safe. And a lot of this stuff is new and it's changing, but we kind of feel like that's also our responsibility, right? Is to understand what's changing and what's new, and we have a responsibility to learn and grow and always do better. And so that's just a simple example, the real time of what's happening right now in boating.
Yeah, it's interesting when you think of electricity and water. Is that something that take place in the next 5 years, or is it something that's going to grow over 20 years? I'm just curious to see if you think that evolution is going to happen quicker, than later.
It's going to take some time. There are some challenges. So the automotive side of the world and transportation obviously has gotten electrified first. And I feel like boats and airplanes, right? Those are going to be the last modes of transportation that go electric, because there are some inherent challenges with both of them, and one of them is weight, right? And so batteries and motors, those types of things are really heavy, and that's not always a good thing in the boat. Obviously, there are some challenges too with corrosion and water and electricity, and but the technology is awesome, and so there are really smart companies and really innovative groups that are trying to solve some of those problems. On the smaller scale, like the personal mobility things, the surfboards and the e-foils, even things like small personal watercraft, those will be the first things that really become pretty mainstream, and I think the technology will grow from there. There are some innovative companies that are doing surf boats that you can buy on the market now that are all electric. Obviously, they have their limitations and their challenges, but those are getting better over time. I would expect to see some things like pontoons with electric outboard motors. I would expect to see those really becoming pretty common in the next 5 years, and then maybe 10 years or so down the road, we'll see meaningful changes in the market share or the ratios of internal combustion boats to electric. So definitely, it's definitely happening.
And to show how much Cody and the crew at Goodhue Boat Company care about their customers, when I asked what the first step of getting into boating was, he said the first priority was safety.
This episode is over, but please visit WinniPlus.com for more adventure. WinniPlus, the #1 way to explore the Lakes region.